Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Star Wars Black Series action figure of Princess Leia from Episode 4, A New Hope. If you've seen some of my other Star Wars Black Series figure reviews, then you know I'm not the biggest fan of cloth on action figures. One of the reasons is, especially within the Star Wars line, is that several characters, like Han Solo or Darth Maul, for example, have cloth costumes in the movies that are then translated into plastic form for this series. Almost all the figures do that, except for Leia and the Emperor, which get little clothy costumes. So one, you have an inconsistency within the series, and two, it just doesn't look good. I mean, fabric hangs differently on a 1-to-1 scale, person, than it does in a little action figure. So it gets all like puffy and weird and just doesn't read naturally, it doesn't hang right. Also, they put these little seams, they sewed a little seam down the middle here, and then on each side of the seam it gets all puffy and weird. That's not how it looked in the movie. This is not good. You don't want a giant seam going down her arm, or within the scale of this figure, like the little stitchings right around the neck and how it bunches there by the waist. I'm glad they tried to bunch it, but I don't need to see giant stitching right there. So yeah, not a big fan of that. But I am a big fan of Star Wars Black Series figures, and I have a problem. I'm an addict. And I need Leia figures, and I need everything from New Hope, and yeah, so here I am with this figure that I'm still not overly fond of the way it was done, but still, it's Leia, and it's cool. I mean, she's got the classic buns. The sculpt on the head is pretty good as far as capturing that classic hairstyle goes. The face is interesting, but the hairstyle, I mean, the little sculpted lines going down the side of her head there in the hair, really, really good. Not just the shape, but the actual lines of the hair. You can see the part of her hair there, too. This face isn't great, and it isn't terrible. Leia has had a history of really, really bad face paints and head sculpts. And this one's better than, the Slave Leia. But, yeah, at least she's got some pink cheeks. The lip paint is decent. Her eyeballs and eyebrows. Her eyebrows are okay, but the eyeballs look good. Again, it's fine. It's not amazing, but you get the sense that it's Leia, even though it's not much of a Carrie Fisher likeness. Not a lot of details to speak of elsewhere. There's no sculpt details, except for the belt, and the silver paint is decent on her belt. Standard articulation on this as far as Black Series goes. You got the double elbow joints, the mid-torso cut that goes forward, the hinged wrist, the double head joint, the double knee joint. I mean, you know the drill. One wrist hinges up and down, the other one hinges side to side. We got the little silver, the ankle joint that swivels. Basic white paint on her boots and on the bottom there. That's it. There's not much to speak of as far as paint and details goes. Just a lot of mediocre white fabric. We do get her little blaster though, which is a little bent from the packaging. Oh well, it is a pretty good looking little blaster. And then her big blaster, the Stormtrooper one, from when they're running around the Death Star and all that. And, escaping the trash compactor, she does use this. So, yeah, that's a nice little accessory to include. All in all, though, I mean, if you're getting this figure for $20, for me, you're not getting a good bang for your buck, because you'd think for $20, you at least have some good sculpting to appreciate, some paint that's been applied, but instead for $20, you get, a little thing and some white fabric. Not the biggest fan of how this turned out, but whatever. Thanks for watching, everybody, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. Oh, and if anyone cares, yeah, you can put her hood up, but it looks kind of stupid.